So I thought I would try a instructional video for my second video. It's been a new experience for me. I've worked on planting trees, of course, but never tried to film it. That's a totally different thing. So I picked up this uh, Hinoki Cypress, a dwarf Hinoki Cypress, the other day. And, at the time I picked it up, I didn't even think I'd be filming my styling of it. And it's from Sally Nursery, and it's Thowill is the cultivar, and it's dwarf, so it only grows 3 to 6 inches per year, and pretty cold hardy down to the -20. But I really loved the foliage on the plant, really deep green, and it's quite a bit different than the Thuja occidentalis primo that I have. And a lot of serious bonsai people wouldn't consider this great bonsai material. At least at this point, they'd say grow it out. But I think there's a lot of things to be said for miniatures and dwarf varieties and small bonsai. I thought of some advantages. Of course, the big disadvantage people talk about is it doesn't grow much, and that's true. It won't give you much growth. But there's some advantages, quite a few advantages. So first of all, you can make small trees with them, and so you don't have to grow out that trunk caliper as much to make a convincing image. And so that's one advantage. So you can make something faster. I mean, this really is already, some would say this looks like a bonsai already, and I'd agree it's already halfway there. Another big advantage, or two more big advantages that I think are that it's cheap, right? They had some really nice full size, actually they're a dwarf variety too, but they were much larger, 1 or 2 feet tall. They'd make really nice trees. And sometimes I eye those and think, oh, maybe I should get that. It'd be fun to work on that. But it was, $200. Whereas this is, it was $20. So much more affordable. And then the other big thing is size, right? So you can fit, I don't know, 10 of these bonsais on your bench for every one large tree. So I like the size, and when it comes down to it's just personal preference. And I've just found I like dwarf trees. I like small trees. At least lately, the last year or two, I gravitate towards the small trees. So yeah, and I think you can definitely, even though it's small, it's sold as bonsai material or bonsai starter. And I think, yeah, a lot of people say, well, yeah, you plant that in the ground, let it grow for 5 years, and then you can bonsai it. But I think you really can make something cool that's a convincing image, just straight from the nursery like this. So I actually already started on this before I thought, maybe I should make a video. And so what I did was removed, and you hear this all the time with bonsai videos, it was actually buried up to like, here, buried up to here in this with soil, with substrate. And so I kind of had to fill around, and I felt a single trunk, so that was good. I wanted a single trunk. And there were 10 of these there actually, or even more. I actually looked at almost all of them, and I noticed one of them, it had branches coming off of both sides, and so there's going to be inverse taper, I could tell. So I didn't want that. So this one, I felt around and noticed a big branch on this side, but not on this side right here. And that was key for me. And so I thought, okay, there won't be inverse taper on this plant. And I noticed the lean to it a little bit, so I think there's some trunk movement in there, although I can't even see the trunk. And that's the big goal for this plant. Already it looks nice. I mean, I like the way it looks. I think it's a cool looking plant. I think Azalea does great work. And again, I was actually really pleased when I took, so then got home and I scraped this top, you know, maybe half inch of soil off to reveal the trunk. And after doing that, I was impressed by how tree-like it looked. However, I think there's a way that this can be improved. I'm not going to work the roots all today. I'm going to work the top of the tree, so I don't want to do too much. I'm just going to let it recover. But the big thing I want to do today on it is just to thin it down, because it's just full of branches and branches. There's just no space, and I think if I took about, you know, half of this off, it would look more tree-like. Plus there's an image, and if I need to figure out video editing this one, I'm gonna have to do that. I've known nothing about video editing, so it's a learning process for me. There's an image I found from, I think it's a Reddit, bonsai Reddit, an image that I want to imitate for this tree. And basically it involves, I'm not going to do any wire on it, at least right now. It just involves selectively taking off some of the branches. So it's not just a bush, even though really it looks nice, just like this. And maybe that's the answer. Maybe this is enough if you want a bonsai. Just go, reveal the trunk a little bit, maybe prune a little bit, stick it in a nice pot. I might put it in, back in this and let it grow. That would be good. I also, over here, can't help it, I just had this cheap $5 pot, and maybe I'll stick it in here. It's actually a little bigger, so I'd let it grow out. And it's over, as far as bonsai terms, this is way big, too big of a pot for it. But just to let it grow and recover, and I just like the pot, and why not? I had it, it's $5, I'm not using it. Maybe I'll put this in it when I'm done. And when I do that, since this is pretty barky soil, but it's fine, it's been growing fine in it. I'll have to watch the watering a little bit, not overwater it too much, because it's not bonsai soil. I'm not going to repot it, but I'll probably put it in like a succulent. I use kind of halfway between potting soil and bonsai soil. I sometimes use succulent soil, which is just potting soil with some coarse materials in it. Just because I don't know if it would grow successfully if I had a bonsai soil and then this really dense nursery bark type soil. So yeah, I'll just start going through, and I might do, I don't know if I'm going to film this whole thing. That'll make for a long video, so maybe I'll do a time lapse, or maybe I'll just come back at the end and show the results of my work. But I'll just keep the camera rolling. Again, learning process for me, second video. Don't really know what I'm doing as far as videoing, and maybe a little bit what I'm doing with bonsai. But so let's start. I'm going to keep this lowest branch, I know. So the process, I'll just step through, and again, I don't think I'll video this whole thing because that's going to be like a long time. And I'm not really Peter Chan, like scissored up in 10 minutes as fast as I can type of guy. I don't have that many trees, so I think very deliberately and slowly about the process I'm going to use. But I have kind of looked through it, thought about it a while, searched for images on the internet of something I want to imitate here. So I don't think I need to necessarily take it up a little bit to reveal more trunk. The scale seems appropriate. So, but what I do want to do is this branch right above this one. I'm just going to start, taking out some of those branches. So I'll take this one off. I'm leaving that one, so that opens up the space a little bit. I'll remove that. And yeah, I don't know if I'll talk the whole time. Again, figuring out filming. I'm glancing at my camera periodically to see if I'm in focus. I think it's good. I don't know. It's a learning thing. That's why I'm doing this. Alright, so I'm back. I guess I can only do like 28-minute videos on my camera card. It won't only store a file that side, but I haven't filled up my card. So I've kind of gone through a little bit. I'm just still thinning portions, but I think I'm winding it down because I have thinned it by definitely at 25% now, maybe more to 30%, and I might call that good because, you know what, I think it looks better, to me at least, than when it started. And the reason I say that is I was starting to have pads again. I might come back in a few days. I gotta look about it and think out. I'm starting to see more separation between the branches. I'm starting to see kind of some pads or starts of pads, and maybe I could be more deliberate about that. Maybe it's just pinching some of these downward growing things in between, and again just thinning. Maybe not doing so much branch selection, but it seems like on this branch, see, it has like several layers, so I could probably take out some of those layers. I've kind of started doing that. Taking some of them out and just kind of lightening the foliage up. So I could put it in there, but I think I'm going to put it in here. And so I'm going to do that, put it in this nice pot, lift it up so you can see the trunk, the bottom of the trunk, and I've revealed the trunk of the tree now. And I'm going to just use kind of not a bonsai soil mix, because this is not bonsai soil. I don't really want to mix between a super porous open soil and a the nursery soil. So I think I'll use this nice succulent mix that I use, and I'll have to watch the watering a little bit. But yeah, I'm going to do that. So I guess I might as well just keep it rolling. I don't know how I'm going to edit this video. It's going to be a super long video if I don't like edit it somehow. Alright, so I'm back. All I'm doing is adding soil to the sides. And now I'm rethinking my decision to not put it in the same pot. There's just a little tiny gap. I guess, you know, I can work it back. I can work it in there. I'm working it in. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call that good. I'm definitely not as tidy as Bonsai Diary. He would never have all this stuff on his like surface here. Soil and branches. It's very tidy. So yeah, that's it. That's the tree now. Move this out of the way. The Thowil Hinoki Cypress. Branch selection and a little bit of thinning. I took, I think, about 25% to 30% off. And I'll call that good. And now it's just let it grow and see how it responds, and water it. Thanks for watching. Alright, so I wanted to just do one final shot, and I realized I didn't do the spinny thing that everybody does of the tree. I've basically been having it face the front, what I consider the front at the moment. So I'll just spin it around, show the final product. I cleaned up the pot a little bit. Yeah, I should have spun it at the beginning too. But yeah, again, nothing dramatic, but I did take at least 25% or maybe even a third of the foliage off. And open it up, open up the branches a little bit, just thin branches, thin them out, cut the top down a tad, and put it in this pot. And again, the tree was, you know, $20, and the pot's only $5. So, you know, it looks like a bonsai. Nothing, nothing incredible, but a few more years, and it might turn into something great. And you know, this pot is definitely not the right size for it. It's definitely not the final pot that I'll have for the tree. I'm just being conservative with it and don't want to repot it when taking all this foliage off, but I anticipate it'll be in a, you know, definitely just half this size. And I think it looked really good in like a 3x3, like I put my little oak in. So yeah, the goal is probably a 3x3 pot is what I think I'll shoot more. And I think I can maybe even do that. I'm not gonna really touch the tree anymore probably. I might come back after looking at it for a day or two and trim a little more off, but I'm basically not gonna touch the tree. Just water it, enjoy it, and in the spring I will plan to repot this into like, yeah, I think a 3x3, something like that. Probably could be unglazed, glazed, I don't know, whatever suits my fancy at the moment. So thanks for watching. That's it.